Jedd Fisch is 2 days away from making his home debut as Arizona's head coach. Thursday, he spoke with us about the challenges and expectations in facing San Diego State.
The number one I'm looking for is winning. That's the tradition we're going to start going immediately, if at all possible. And the next one after that is the traditions of really from the Wildcat walk on. I think that our team, once we enter, really excited about the cage that we built for the holding area for our players prior to the start of kickoff. That's going to be an incredible area before they enter. We have a brand new intro video coming out that we've worked very, very hard on with our production company out of Los Angeles to make that really special, to honor the university, honor a lot of the alumni that had been here before, and also our program and our team. Really excited about DJ Scooter, who's coming in from California, who will be doing our home game DJ, who's really going to be located right in the middle of the student section, right at the Zona Zoo, and do everything he can to make it a full-on party atmosphere. We were able to get some amazing sound system. Derek's been able to take care of that for us, which we're very appreciative of, that we have an incredible new sound system that we've been working through. We're going to work on a red and blue chant. Our team did that for our so we have that. So we have our team did some chants that we'll have on the Jumbotron so the whole stadium can follow along. And then we had our music department, our theater department put together a great video. They took 18 of their musicians and actors and actresses, and they sung All Hail, which at the end of the third quarter, we'll ask everybody to stand up, have their arms around each other if that's COVID allowed, and if not, just stand up next to one another and sing All Hail. We'll have the words up there. I'll tell you, Hank Stratton did an amazing job getting that together. And then right after that, we'll break into Kenny Chesney's song of Happy Does, and then our DJ will be able to put some nice mixes together. So the biggest thing I would say is be there. Be there. Let's make it a sold-out tradition. And that will be the tradition that I'd be most excited about for this entire season. And I guess the deal would be we'd try to get over 300,000 people at the end of the 6 home games, and that would be pretty amazing.
We're going to talk about the defense for San Diego State and what they might, issues they might pose for you going into some detail for a pregame show.
Yeah, well, you know, the biggest thing about San Diego State is I think since 2013, they've been ranked in the top 20 in total defense. So that's 8 straight years of being a top 20 total defense. They're 9th last year in the nation in term blitz percentage. They're 2nd in stunt percentage. So you're going to get a ton of movement. You can get a lot of activity. They're not afraid to play cover zero. They play a lot of cover zero blitz. I certainly expect them to do that. They're aggressive, and they've got good players. They've got very good, good front four. Their head coach is a defensive line coach by trade, so he's been coaching D-line forever. You could see it. You could see they're fundamentally sound. They play extremely hard. They're going to be very active up front defensively. And then on the back end, they've got a couple young corners, or I should say a couple young DBs, and then also some veteran guys that have made a lot of good plays. I mean, they got the ball thrown on them, I think it was close to 70 times or something like that last week, and they gave up 10 points. So they know how to play great defense. That's always been San Diego State's model since Rocky Long and then Danny Gonzalez, and Brady is certainly an outstanding defensive coach. I could attest to that from we were at Michigan right after he was at Michigan, and that was a really, really, really good defense.
Rich, again for the pregame show, if you can give us some details on San Diego State's offense, the quarterback Brookshire in particular, and what you're expecting.
I haven't spent too much time watching too much of their offense. Coach Brown certainly has done the majority of that. I do know that they run the ball and have always run the ball extremely well. They ran the ball for 2.5 times what they threw it for last week. So they are a run-first operation, and they're very good at it. They've always been very good at it. Jeff Horton was there for years as the play caller, coached the running backs, did a great job. And then obviously they've now continued on that path and tradition, a little bit less under center. They used to be an under center pro style run game. This is more of a spread shotgun run game, but they do it very well. And as always, when you can run the ball well, quarterbacks have opportunity to take shots. And if you take shots, that's where you've got to deal with some vertical. You got to really defend the vertical passing game with good play action teams, and that's what we got to be alert for.
Do you still plan to play 2 quarterbacks this week?
Yeah, I think so. I think we'll probably have a spot for Will to play a little bit. I think there's some value to be able to sit a series and look to see what's going on defensively. I don't think we're not set in the same manner as we were going into the game, but there's certainly some value to be able to stand next to me and kind of look at what's going on in the game and have a deep breath and say, okay, I see why that play was called.
Steve Kerr is going to be the honorary captain on Saturday. How did that come about? And then do you have any plans for him to give a pregame speech or anything like that?
Yeah, I called up Steve about 2 weeks ago after he got back from the Olympics. Gave him a couple of weeks. Called him up and asked him if he would be willing to come and be our honorary captain. And he said, as a matter of fact, I'll actually be there that weekend for the Lute Olson memorial that's taking place. So he said it would be my pleasure to do it. And so timing of it couldn't have been better. And we're able to, he's able to impact 2 programs and the entire university the same weekend. We spoke a few different times. His son recently got married, so I didn't talk to him last weekend, but talked to him yesterday. He's going to address our team when we're done with the Wildcat walk. So as soon as we get off the walk, we'll go upstairs and have a chance to listen to Coach Kerr talk to our team for a few minutes before we get dressed and ready to go. And then he'll be out there for the coin toss. So we're excited that he's a part of our program. And obviously, I know that Coach Lloyd is certainly excited that he'll be involved with watching them practice as well as the Lute Olson Memorial the next day.
How much has Jamarr Joyner been a part of your game preparation? Do you expect him to be ready?
I expect him to have some role in the game, play some snaps. He's just working his way back. He was able to practice for parts of practice each day. We've just been doing some load management, keeping an eye on him, but he's doing fantastic. So I would expect him to have some plays in the game. He's another threat out there. So it'd be good to get another vertical threat on the field.
I am now joined by senior editor Matt Moreno. After talking to the players and the coaches the past couple of days, what stuck out to you about how they're going to approach the game this weekend?
Well, I think for me, it's how much positivity was still coming out of this team throughout the week. We kind of heard about it and heard it firsthand at the game in Las Vegas against BYU. They're pretty positive despite the loss. So I think that's kind of carried over into this week. I think they realize that this is an opportunity for them to win this game and to break this losing streak. It's been 13 games since they've won a game. A lot of these players have been part of that entire streak, and so I think there's just a lot of confidence coming into this game because of what they were able to prove to themselves, I think, really more than anything against BYU. And so I think there's just a certain confidence about this team that you're sensing right now. They don't feel like they're backpedaling and going the wrong direction. I think they feel like they're building some momentum, and that's something I really gathered from talking to the players, the coaches, and listening to Jedd Fisch this week.
And what are a couple of the keys that Arizona needs to have happen in order to break their losing streak?
Well, I think the first thing is that you have to stop the run. I mean, San Diego State is pretty one-dimensional, at least that's what they've been so far this season. Their passing game wasn't very effective at all against New Mexico State. They actually trailed in that game for a lot of it, and then turned to their ground game and really had a lot of success running the football. And so for Arizona, it feels like it's a pretty simple, easy game plan, straight ahead game plan for Don Brown and this defense. Stop the run. If you can do that, it makes your life a whole lot easier. And so I think that's going to be a big key for Arizona is up front. They're going to need those guys along the defensive line, the linebacker group, to really have success stopping the run. And then it'll be just scoring some points in the red zone. They went 0 for 4 in terms of scoring touchdowns in the red zone, missed a couple field goals. Got a couple field goals, but you want to have touchdowns when you get into the red zone. And for Arizona, listening to Jedd Fisch earlier in the week, that was one of the things he mentioned and really harped on was they can't go empty when they get to the red zone. They have to come away with points, come away with touchdowns more than anything. And I think if they can do that, it'll be a successful game for Arizona. They'll break the losing streak and finally have some momentum building their way.
kickoff is set for Saturday at 7 p.m. right behind us inside Arizona Stadium. With Matt Moreno, I'm Averie Klonowski for GOAZCATS.com.